What's up, guys? So today I wanted to do a video and give you guys 5 quick tips on how I am overcoming location boredom. So tip number 1 is to try something that's just slightly different than what you normally would do. And I know it sounds obvious and kind of goofy, but today I'm maybe a mile south of where I normally go when I'm out here trying to do some kind of wilderness type shots. I completely forget that there's a trail system out here that runs along the river. Usually I go quite a bit further north where the normal trail system that I'm familiar with is, and always forget about this place. So this is actually my first time out here, so I'm hoping maybe that'll help me find some different stuff. So tip number 2 is going to kind of piggyback off of tip number 1 a little bit. In addition to trying new places, you should definitely try different times of day as well. Right now I'm out, it's kind of early, the light's still a little harsh, I'm not finding the best light on most things, but it does kind of help me to see things I normally wouldn't see otherwise. Especially if you're a city shooter, when you're downtown and you're around all these big buildings everywhere, you can get some really awesome reflected light shots from the harsher sun. So it's coming down in, hitting those buildings, bouncing down in the streets, you can get some really cool shots. And again, like I said, it'll help you to see some things maybe you wouldn't have seen during golden hour and the traditional times that you want to be out shooting. So you can see here I found some test shots at the last location we were just at, the new place I've never tried before, and it's kind of cool because I found 3 or 4 different places to shoot from that I think I want to return to when the sun's low and golden hour sunset times, and I'll try to show you those here now. Keep in mind, like I said, they're just a test shot to kind of give me a place to remember where to go and see how that's going to work out in the future, but I think I've got something solid that might work in a better time of day out there. So yeah, try different times of day. Tip number 3 is perspective, and changing your perspectives and looking for things that you normally wouldn't look for. I have a really bad habit when I go out and shoot of shooting a lot of things from eye level. I'm always just holding the camera up, standing, and basically grabbing a high-end snapshot sometimes. And that's a habit I've been trying to break, especially when I'm shooting in the city. So I've been experimenting a lot more with low down angles, high up angles, verticals, and when I normally would shoot a horizontal. Things like that can make a huge difference in your photos and the way you feel about your local area. Trying different lenses can make a huge difference. Shooting ultra wide instead of telephoto or vice versa. You can really vary your photos and the scene just by changing your focal length sometimes. If you start looking for smaller details instead of just grand vista type shots, sometimes you can get some really cool intimate landscape shots or detail shots in the cliche, things like that. You know, if you're not the type, you do a lot of landscapes, you shoot f8, f11 all the time, you might try something like a fast 50, do a few of those cliche bokeh shots that are out there. But yeah, it's all about changing it up and keeping it interesting. So if you start shooting from different perspectives and trying to look at things in a different way than you normally do, it can make a pretty big difference in your final output, the way you feel about a location, and it always helps you learn. The more different stuff you try, the more you fail, the more you win, the more you're going to take home from that. So don't get discouraged if you try some new stuff and it sucks. Take it home, pull it up in Lightroom, look at it, find out why it sucks, and then next time you go out, try it again, but fix the things that you think suck about it, and you'll keep growing. You'll find that you can get a lot more out of your normal locations, and yeah, it's just a win-win all the way around. So then tip number 4 is go out and shoot with your friends. Bring them along with you when you go out. It's a lot of fun to do that. You can get their, back to the last tip, perspective on things. You'll go out and shoot, and you'll see them shooting some stuff that you would have never thought to shoot, and it just makes for a good learning experience for both of you. So you can go out, both of you can shoot the same subject and get 2 completely different photos, and that is awesome. So when you're out, you're shooting together and you get 2 different perspectives on a similar scene, it makes for some cool stuff because there's always that middle ground in between what you saw and what your buddy saw, and that's really cool because you can learn from that and get in that middle ground and try techniques you might not have otherwise ever thought to try. And it's always fun to go out and you shoot the same subject as your friend and you see that they had a completely different photo than you, and so it gives you some stuff you can think about for the next time you're out in a location. And you know, if you're kind of getting bored with your locations, that's not a bad thing to have more options. Alright, so tip number 5, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You don't have to go out and make a top 5 portfolio shot every time you go out and shoot. Just have fun with it. Remember why you love photography. Don't put tons of pressure on yourself. Go out and have fun. probably going to get better images out when you're having a good time and you're positive and you're not just worried how many likes is this going to get on Instagram, or is this going to be a top shot in my portfolio, or things like that. Like, just get out and have fun. Keep that in mind when you're shooting, that you're doing it for you and not for, you know, people you've never met online before. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 tips to fight location boredom. So keep these things in mind when you're out shooting and you're bored with your location. You keep having to shoot the same place, and hopefully it helps. If this video has helped you in any way, I'd appreciate it if you'd like it. Subscribe to the channel, and look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.